She was talking, Trenny, about 6 reasons that Tommy Curran gives about why the Patriots will be better in 2025. We spent some time on this yesterday, talking about the projections and are they low, are they high? So here are the reasons he gives. And I'm sure Tim McCone is going to say, yep.
Sign off.
Absolutely.
And by the way, this isn't 7.5 wins. This is better. So this is 5 wins.
Right. This is just better. And so that's why I don't necessarily disagree with any of these reasons. I'm just going through them. He writes, and here are his reasons. New broom swept clean. And he's talking about an entirely new group of leaders, not with coaches.
Right.
And there being a coaching staff, but he's talking about the fact that they wiped out team leaders. And they made it an effort, right? They got rid of everybody. If you were a captain, look out. Andrews, gone. Bentley, gone. Dietrich Wise, see you later. Joe Cardona, yeah, we'll get a new long snapper. We don't need you. And so those guys were all sent packing. One captain from last year, Peppers, Jabril Peppers coming back. And in addition to that, Godshaw is gone and Jonathan Jones are gone. So veterans that had a voice in there, even if they weren't captains, are out the door.
Yeah.
That's reason number one. Agree or disagree?
I do agree because I think you tolerated some of the statements at the end of the year from guys like Godshaw and even even Tavai. If you want to bring up Tavai too, like he wasn't a captain, but hey, we stopped the run today when you got your ass kicked by the Chargers on that Saturday, which was the nail in the coffin. I like the fact that you're going to have to earn it now. How about that though? Like, of all the captains from a year ago, who would say that Jabril Peppers was the one that would carry over, given what happened? Right. And they stripped him of his captainship, or his captaincy, whatever you want to call it. Drake May's got to be a captain this year. Hunter Henry's got to be a captain. Will an offensive lineman be a captain? Probably not, right? One who's a little out of shape.
I don't know who those.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you have an offensive lineman like Andrews. Sorry, but Barmore being around it cleared. Maybe he could get in on it.
You just had to.
Christian Gonzalez. I think he may be one.
Yeah,
like you got new blood.
I mean, Morgan Moses, of all the guys on that line,
there
Moses
you go.
might be the one.
Right. There you go. It's a good one.
It's bounced around. I don't know that he's a great leader. I have no idea. But if you're giving me that question, that's the one guy maybe. Veteran.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just trying to find 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Somebody's got to call heads or tails.
No, I just think you had to establish this new program. So you've talked about it before, like when you get used to losing, right?
Yeah.
And to get a new mix in there where you can kind of establish something new and hopefully kind of springboard into an 11-win season.
Oh, 11 again. Wouldn't shock me if Brendan Schooler was a captain. He's been around for a while now, Pro Bowler. Oh, Jesus. I don't feel it. I'm reaching, Beetle.
Brendan Schooler trying to hand his coach the football.
Yep.
I mean, he's
all-timer.
Yeah.
He's like,
what is
this?
What is this, high school? Anyway, second point is leading from the middle, ? And this great stat, which is 12 of the top 14 teams in rushing yards allowed per game made the playoffs last year. What a stat. And I said to you guys yesterday, of all my things that I talk about with the team, will they be better against the run?
They have to.
I mean, you say that because they were dreadful against it at times last year. At times. Better some weeks than others. But 12 of the top 14 teams in rushing yards allowed made the playoffs. The Patriots finished 23rd in the league last year. So he also writes the top 5 teams on third down all made the playoffs. Which is, I'm not surprised by that one. But the rushing yards one is interesting. The Patriots on third down, by the way, 26th in the league. Their defense sucked. They got a defensive-minded head coach, and their defense got worse.
Yeah, it did.
Figure that one out.
It did.
So he writes the Patriots front 7, and specifically their defensive front, Tommy Curran says has the potential to make a massive leap this year. Barmore being back, Milton Williams now in the mix. Keon White another year older and obviously
Landry.
very motivated. And Harold Landry with 31-plus sacks over the last 3 years. So if they're better against the run, he thinks they'll be better against the run, and that will lead to better results. Again, I feel like it's the first thing. I don't know if they have great leaders. It'll be nice that there are new ones. I don't know if they're going to be better against the run. It'll be great if they're healthy.
Be great if they could stay in sort of that base front, because so many teams nowadays, they'll go 3 wide, try and get you outside the box, go check with me, and if they'll count the guys in the middle, and if it's light, they'll run the ball. But if you're overloaded in the front, you're going to throw it. If you could stay base against like a nickel in that spread, you might have a chance to really get after them with your run defense. You see what I'm saying? Like Belichick subbed so much. Like we'll go with six DBs at once, 7 DBs. I mean, your big fat guys, they were getting gas going in and out, running in and out of the damn game. You couldn't get in a rhythm. No rhythm.
He writes in point 3, a wagon of a coaching staff. How many wins is that worth? How many wins is a wagon coaching staff in the NFL worth? Because I will tell you, I view it as kind of binary. You either have good coaching or you don't. It's a 0 or a 1. What is it? What do you have? You either have one or you don't. And it really comes down to the most talented players find themselves in the best positions at the end of the year. Would Patrick Mahomes have a Super Bowl without Andy Reid? I believe he would.
Maybe.
Would Tom Brady have Super Bowls without Bill Belichick?
He does.
Yes.
Oops, he actually proved that one.
Bruce Arians.
He did. He got Bruce Arians to a Super Bowl and won it.
Jesus.
And I don't think Bruce Arians is a bad coach.
No, he's been around.
I think he's like minimum level. Yes, you have a coach. You don't have a complete moron running your team.
I don't have the stats handy here, but I remember Arians was doing this sit down towards the end when he retired, and they had his wins and losses up, and I'm like, holy crap, that guy's won a lot of games. He really has.
Yeah,
and he's been around the league a long time. Like he knows quarterbacks. It's just interesting how it fell apart with him and Tom at the end, though.
How many more wins last year
3.
if they had this coaching
3.
staff
That's what I was gonna
versus
say.
last
3.
year's?
1 or 2.
I
One
go
or 2
3.
more.
Yeah.
They would have made sure they lost that last game. So
Take it down to 2.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
You're right.
back to the reasons. Back to the reasons why the Patriots are hopefully going to be better. We talked about the 3 that Tommy Curran has put out. He's put 6 altogether. The first 3, to recap, were that new leadership among players, that they're going to be better against the run, hopefully, with the upgrades they've made on defense, and they've got a wagon of a coaching staff, which is a really strong one for Tim McCone. He loves the coaches, loves all of it.
I do. It's not just Vrabel. It's a huge upgrade across the board.
All right. Shutdown secondary is on the list.
Good corners.
This one I absolutely buy. He said they are they have a second-team All-Pro corner in Gonzalez, still on his rookie deal, and they've got the high-priced addition in Carlton Davis. I'm going to make a prediction right now. This is not related to his point.
Yeah.
I mean, which we all agree with. We're not going to debate this one very much. But here's my prediction. Gonzalez will be much better than Davis. Much better.
Yes.
That's not to say Davis will be bad, but I'm telling you, there will be a difference in those two, and Davis will not be the best corner on this team.
Oh, Davis has had some issues when he was at other places. Like, it wasn't perfect, but he's a damn good corner. Like, Gonzalez has a chance to be all-pro. Like, that's the difference. Sky's the limit for him.
I agree.
And then, how about this? Schemed, coached right, all that stuff. He can match up with anybody. He really can.
I think there's some things with Gonzalez, locker room wise, personality wise, that Vrabel might need to get after.
But I think he's gotten better.
And I think he's been surrounded by a bunch of losers the last couple of years in that locker room.
Well, I think that.
And it's been a real losing sort of atmosphere. 4 wins, back-to-back years. His first 2 years in the league, he's on 2 4-win teams. I don't know if he knows what, the winning culture is all about. And I don't mean that this results in poor play. I mean, if you want to make him one of your highest paid players and you want to lock him up for many years to come,
Yeah.
you're going to want him to be one of those guys that sets the example and leads the way.
He's gotten better. I've done a couple things in the offseason with him, and he's opened up.
Good.
I think he's coming out of his shell a little bit, so to speak.
Good.
The play is there.
Maybe he'll be a little happier about sitting down with 98.5 The Sports Hub at the Super Bowl
So I
next
told him,
year.
I said, you don't want to Saturday, you don't want to sit down? And I was like, man, it was a bad year. I go, yeah, but you're good.
That's all we're going to say about that. Moving on. Schedule, they list as one of the reasons they'll be better. We've covered this, I think, ad nauseum at this point.
McCone's got 11 wins there.
McCone looks at that schedule and he says, tomato can, tomato can, tomato can. What's that commercial that runs where someone talks like that the whole time? We have a commercial.
I know what you're talking
What
about.
is that?
Which one? Is it actual tomato cans?
No.
Oh.
They say it in that voice, though. Tomato can. Tomato can. That's what he's doing. Him and Shaughnessy are just sitting there, kicking back, drinking a little V8, and yelling about tomato cans. That's what they're doing.
I'd call it a favorable schedule.
I would agree.
I don't think they're going to breeze through it.
It is a favorable
It's a breezy schedule.
They have one of the easier schedules in the league. Again, as it stands now, right? It could get significantly more difficult. I think there's always the possibility it gets even easier. It's just the nature of looking at the schedule prior to the start of a year. Even when you think it's easy, it could be incredibly difficult. And even when you think it's easy, it could get easier. I admit that. It can go either way. Here's the last point. And I think
this is the best one.
Oh, wow. We're gonna agree on this.
This is the best one.
We're gonna agree on this because
this is everything.
Because I would just assume that Zoe would accuse me of wanting to dump on this point.
Oh God, no.
It's the return of urgency.
It's the biggest point of the what, 5 or 6? 6? Yeah. That one. That's everything. Winning's important. Not looking at certain things like we stopped the run even though we got our ass kicked. That's not sense of urgency.
He writes that Belichick called 2020 a reset year. The team went after it in 21, made the playoffs, and got boat raced. They entered 22 with a what? Me worry? And we'll see how it goes attitude about having an offensive plan. In 23, we were told by Belichick the reason for optimism was the past 25 years. Wow, that sounds like Sam Kennedy, doesn't it? And 2024 was treated as a dry run for everything. An attempt to see how the franchise would look without Bill running everything. Hope and crossed fingers turned out to be a failed strategy. He says this year, there is urgency. It was illustrated in free agent pursuits. Several failed, but they went after it. A house cleaning of Belichick guys. I'm going to push back on that a little bit in a minute. And all competition, all the time mindset that you can see on the field in drills and even in attendance at OTAs. This, to me, will be the best part of this coming season, and that is no sorry-ass excuses from Bill or no malaise that was created by Gerard Mayo. Kick back, have a good time, let's focus on painting a nice mural on the wall, and my door's always open. No, there's a guy here who is going to run a program, and you're either going to be with him or you're going to be shown the door.
Yep.
That's it. It's cut and dry.
Yeah.
If you want to be about football, you're here, and we're not taking time. The expectation is we go out and we think we can win every single game, every single weekend. That's it. They never had it last year. They never did. They played with far more urgency with Bill 2 years ago than they did last year.
Yeah, the defense balled that whole year till the end. Like, they got better as the year went on. But, like, that stretch of Buffalo and Baltimore at the end of the year, you should try and attack that. You can't go into that game thinking, you know what, we're toast in this game. Go down there and show up. Like, you want to start spinning some heads. Play Baltimore tough or knock them off. Or win at Buffalo. Tough thing to do. But you could do it.
I don't need any of that. I need them to not make stupid mistakes.
Right.
Not have a boatload of penalties. And to win the games that they should win. That to me is all you need. You don't need to knock off Baltimore. You don't need to go to Buffalo and win. You don't need to do any of that. You don't need to say, hey, we're going to win the game against Cincinnati. We're going to beat Joe Burrow. I don't care if you beat Joe Burrow. What I care about is that you clean up against the Jets twice. I care about that. I care that when you play, let's say, Carolina in Game 4, that you can say about that game, Pats are going to win this one going away.
Given. Layup.
That's what I want. I don't need them to knock off big top teams. I don't need them to turn heads. I need them to be competitive and win the games they're supposed to win for me to really believe in them. And right now, the games they're supposed to win are not Buffalo, Baltimore, Cincinnati. They're just not. And so I think it's unfair to put that on them.
No, I give them all L's.
Okay.
L's in that game. Those games. 3 of them.
They could have a great year without beating any of those teams. So I don't need that. Not necessary. I need you to win when you play Tennessee. That's what I need.
I need you to pick the right win direction.
Yeah.
Which way are we kicking it overtime?
Right?
Yeah. Are we going for 2
A
here?
buttoned-up operation. Yeah.
No, are we going for the win? We're going to go for 2. We're going to kick it. We're going to play for overtime. Like, what do you want to do? You know, have that determined. Predetermine that. They will going into those games. Like, hey, you know, you meet as a staff. Hey, guys, if it's a final minute, we score, and we're down 2, we're going for it. Or excuse me, we're down 1. You know what? Let's roll the dice. Let's go for it.
Let me ask you a question.
What's
Could
that?
they be an 8-win team and look really good doing it?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm expecting.
Sadly, they could be a 7-win team and look good.
8 wins, but they look good.
Yeah.
And the 8 wins are convincing wins. And they were in a lot. You know, Zoe likes to always bring up the last 2 years. They'll be in it in the fourth quarter.
Were they? Were they, though?
Yes.
I mean,
A lot of times they were.
They
Yeah.
were.
And how did it
They
look?
could get over the hump.
And how did that? How did those?
Terrible.
How did those teams look? And what did it matter?
yeah.
It didn't.
It was more than a hump with the Colts.
It didn't.
Yeah.
was
Because
such a-
it looked bad.
Yes, exactly.
Because it wasn't about being in it in the fourth quarter. It was, does this look like a legit team or not? And they never did, ever at any point.
It's such a weird year, too. So you get on a plane, you trek all the way over to London, you're kicking Jacksonville's ass, and all of a sudden in the second half, the floor falls out.
Yep.
And it's almost like from that moment on, like you were in trouble. There was that stretch of games, 4 or 5 games that we looked at on the schedule, said, oh, this is your sweet spot. I think they lost every one.
Yeah.
And in the fourth, Beetle. What are you laughing at?
Someone created an AI photo of Tim McCone wearing a captain's hat.
Was it the Red Sox? They're very proficient with AI.
No, it was Aiden. Aiden in Connecticut sent it in. It looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, you look like Captain Stubing.
It's a headshot. It
get one.
definitely
There's gotta
pulled,
be one on
it
Amazon
pulled your
for
TV.
nothing.
It pulled your TV headshot and put a boat captain hat on you, and it looks good.
Ahoy.
Hides the hairline.
I was going to say, maybe that can be my thing with the hairline going. Maybe I just become a captain hat guy.
You can even take it home, and she can call you the captain.
Oh,
You're her captain.
nothing but a captain's hat. More of your calls coming up
Ahoy.
after this.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Zoe and the Beatles.